Morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Mikey's here with a snooze review. A miracle happened. A new mini mart gas station opened up here in town about probably close to 8 weeks ago. It's out of my regular travel route here in town, so I hadn't bothered to go there until this morning. Figured I'd stop by, check out their tobacco selection, see what they had, and by miracle of miracles, they are the only place in my county that carries General Snus. Now, if you are looking for Swedish Snus and you want to buy it here in America, odds are you're going to have to buy General. That's the only one that's distributed here in the States. And have fun finding it. It's not commonly carried. Um, this is manufactured in Sweden and is distributed by Swedish Match out of Richmond, Virginia. 100% premium imported tobacco, because it's from Sweden. 24 portions per can. So you get 24 portions in here. Wait until you see how these portions are organized in here. Swedish Match does a cool job. Ingredients are tobacco, a taste enhancer, salt, humectant, which is propylene glycol, helps it maintain moisture, pH adjusters, which are sodium carbonate and magnesium carbonate, that helps release more nicotine for you. Natural and artificial flavors and artificial sweetener. And it tells you which artificial sweetener it is, but my eyes are not good enough to read that small writing. So, like most Swedish Snus products, this comes with a catch lid. You open up the upper lid, has an empty spot there. So when you're done with your portion, if you're nowhere near a trash can, you can store it in here, seal it back up, and then when you get to a trash can, you just pop the lid, empty it out, and go on your merry way. So, I have never tried General's mint flavor before. Only General products I have tried is the original loose, which I had to bring in, or I had to order it. And they have a series which they call the Voyage series, which is another one you're going to have to buy online and have it shipped in. Domestically, they got original, mint, wintergreen, and what they call the white portion, which is a bit drier. And look at that. That's how General presents their product, of their portions in their cans. Nicely organized, little spiral pattern going on in there. They take pride in their product, and it shows. Minty, yeah. Okay, I'm going in. There's the portion size. You can tell it's got some moisture content to it because the white paper pouch product is a little brownish. One thing you'll want to do with these, because they kind of sit in the spiral shape, one side's going to be thicker than the other. I just take it and I just plump it up a little bit with my fingers. Pardon the dirty fingers. I was doing some work in the garage and I got some sealant on my fingers, and without dipping my hands in some kind of a solvent that's going to have to wear off on its own. It's gone down quite a bit the last couple of days. There we go. Nice and plumped up. Into the upper lip it goes. Yeah, so you can go to Swedish General's website. They have a store locator. If it's anything like my area, be prepared for disappointment. There were a few places came up in my area that says they carry Swedish Snus General brand. I went there and nobody had a clue what I was talking about. I couldn't see it on the shelf. I got met by blank stares, and I've never heard of that. What is it? So I tried to explain it's a Swedish Snus, spit-free, probably one of the safest forms of oral tobacco there are in existence, and they didn't have a clue what I was talking about. This place hasn't even shown up on their store locator yet because it's a brand new location. And that gas station mini mart, it's a different brand that's not in our area. It's the first one of that name. It's Marathon is what they call themselves. So I'm going to have to frequent that place and make sure they keep stocking General Snus now. It's going to save me a small fortune in shipping fees not having to order it. Nice and minty. A hint of sweetness. This does have a little bit of sweetness to it. You don't have to spit. You can swallow this stuff. The way they process the tobacco is essentially a pasteurization process. And something about the pasteurization process, the way they do it, if there's any cancer-causing elements in this stuff, it renders it inert or neutral of some kind, somehow. So any of the, what little carcinogenic properties you'll find in dipping tobacco and stuff like that, in Swedish Snus, you will not find that. So the Swedish government's actually run a number of studies over the last 40 plus years. They can find no correlation between the use of Swedish Snus and gum disease, Swedish Snus and oral cancer risk, stomach cancer, any of that stuff. They've run the gambit of studies. They cannot find any correlation between the two. Their cancer rates for that kind of stuff, they're practically identical between snus users and non-snus users. And roughly 30% of the Swedish population uses snus. 30%. That's a lot of snoozing going on over there in Sweden. So, yeah. Moistening up pretty good. I can definitely taste the sweetener in there. It's not overpowering like in the American products. You put it in there, it's like putting a piece of candy in your mouth for their spit-free products. It's more subtle, and it's definitely got a nice, refreshing mint flavor to it, which is nice. So that's one thing I do appreciate about the Swedish products. They're not as sweet as their American counterparts. They let the tobacco and whatever flavoring they put in there shine through and, shine on their own. This one here, they do give it a little bit of sweetener, which I can tell it's there, but it's not overly sweet. Like the Skull Snus or the Copenhagen Spit Free, those things, that's pretty much all you're tasting is the sweetener and whatever, the mint or the spearmint, peppermint, whatever it is, depending on which kind you got. It's almost like you're putting a piece of candy in your upper lip with those products. This one here, not so much. I'm actually catching hints of the tobacco. They're letting the flavors are dialed down enough to where you're getting the flavor, but you're also catching some tobacco. Not catching any saltiness on this. Just minty, hints of tobacco, a little bit of sweetness. Nicotine content on this stuff, it's not huge. So if you're worried about nicotine, getting bowled over by nicotine, don't worry about it. You should be able to handle this stuff without too much problem. Yeah, this is really good. I like this. I've never tried their mint before. I'm liking it. Like I said, the only one I've tried is their Voyage series. I can't remember all the flavorings. One of them's like sandalwood and bourbon. Another one's like a rooibos tea with a couple of other flavorings in it. And another one is like, I want to say it's, what was that? Something and lime. I forget exactly what the flavor is. I'll have to look it up. But it's their Voyage series. It's new. It just came out a couple months ago. That stuff's pretty good. So it's definitely got some interesting flavors to it. But with all of them, a hint of sweetness, you get the flavor, and you get some tobacco flavor in there as well, which is really, really nice for these things. I'm a big fan of Swedish Snus, both from the, health aspect. It's not, it's considered one of the more benign / safe forms of tobacco use out there. And it's just a good quality product. I mean, you look at the other people who put out the snoozes and stuff and the spit frees, both American and a lot of the other Europeans. None of them go through the trouble of doing that. That's just a beautiful presentation. They take pride in their product, which is nice. This has been General Swedish Snus, the real deal, real Swedish Snus, available here in the United States. It's the only one you can find domestically. Everything else, you're going to have to go online and order it from the source or a dealer over in Europe. Yep, I'm liking this one. This can's not going to last me very long. I'm going to be pouching this stuff all day long. I can tell right now. Anyway, this has been General Brand Swedish Snus, their mint flavor. 24 portions. If you can find it, it's worth trying. That's if you can find it. If you're in a larger city, larger populated area, it shouldn't be a problem. For someone like me who lives out in the sticks, I'm lucky to have found this. And that mini mart now has won my business. Yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that they keep stocking it. And I did notice, I've been in there twice now. I found this over the weekend, went in there again this morning to get my Dr. Pepper Zero fix. And when I glanced down there, I noticed that the original portions were gone. So I'm not the only snoozer in this area. So that's a good thing. Anyway, this is Mikey. This is General Brand Swedish Snus, their mint flavor. If you can find it, it's worth a try. It's a good product, quality product. The real deal in snus. This is what snus is supposed to be, unlike some of the American stuff. This is Mikey. Give it a try if you like Swedish snus, if you're curious. Catch you all later.